Welcome to the world of documents. In the last episode, we discussed British efforts to rule and influence Afghanistan foreign policy. However, after centuries of foreign marches, invasions, and empires, a new wind was blowing across Afghanistan. In 1919, King Amanullah Khan stood before his people with the single message: Afghanistan will be free. The Third Anglo-Afghan War lasted only a few months, but its impact echoed for generations. Against the world's largest empire, the Afghans once again proved a truth written into their mountains. They may be conquered, but they cannot be ruled. And in August 1919, Britain finally recognized Afghanistan's full independence. It marked an era of internal and foreign wars for power in Afghanistan. King Amanullah dreamed of transforming Afghanistan into a modern nation. He opened schools for boys and girls, built new roads, sent students abroad to study, and introduced a constitution that promised rights and progress. But Afghanistan was not ready to move at the speed of Europe. His reforms clashed with conservative tribes and rebellion spread. In 1929, Amanullah abdicated and fled. His dream unfinished but never forgotten. With Amanullah gone, Nadir Shah took the throne, followed by his son Zahir Shah. For 4 decades, Afghanistan lived under a rare calm. It was a time of slow transformation, not dramatic like Amanullah's vision, but steady, cautious, and peaceful. Roads expanded, Kabul University opened, and Afghanistan became a neutral bridge between East and West. Yet beneath the surface, tensions simmered, tribes, ideologies, and political movements quietly gathering strength. In 1973, while King Zahir Shah was abroad, his cousins Muhammad Daoud Khan launched a bloodless coup. The monarchy fell and Afghanistan became a republic. Daoud sought independence from both superpowers and pushed for rapid modernization. But this time, the threat did not come from tribes or monarchists. It came from within the military and communist factions he once relied on. On a violent night in April 1978, the Communist People's Democratic Party of Afghanistan, PDPA, stormed Kabul. Tanks rolled through the presidential palace. Daoud Khan and his family were executed. A new era began, one of fear, purges, and ideology. The PDPA tried to reshape Afghanistan life overnight. Land reforms, forced schooling, political arrests. Across the countrysides, the villages rebelled. Tribal leaders, clerics, and ordinary farmers picked up rifles. Once again, Afghanistan was on the brink of a storm. In December 1979, the Soviet Union crossed the Amu Darya River. Their goal was to save the collapsing communist regime, but their decision would ignite one of the longest wars of the Cold War era. Helicopters thundered through the mountains, tanks rolled into Afghan valleys, cities became battlegrounds, and villages became graves. From Kundhar to Kandahar, all over Afghanistan, Afghan fighters known as the Mujahideen rose against the invasion. They fought with ferocity and with whatever they had: old rifles, homemade bombs, unmatched courage. The world took notice. Money, training, and weapons poured in from Pakistan, the United States, Saudi Arabia, and a lot of other countries. Stinger missiles began knocking Soviet helicopters from the sky. But above all, it was Afghanistan's own people bravery. They were shepherds, students, desert traders, tribal elders who carried this war on their backs. Alas, the human cost of this war was immense. The price was unimaginable. Over 1 million Afghans were killed. Millions more fled to refugee camps in Pakistan and Iran. Entire villages vanished. A generation grew up knowing only war. After 10 years of fighting, the Soviet Union could no longer justify the cost of war. On a cold February morning in 1989, the last Soviet soldier crossed the Friendship Bridge into Uzbekistan. For the Mujahideen, it was a moment of triumph. For the world, it marked the end of an era. But for Afghanistan, the next struggle was already beginning. This was the story of a nation that refused to break so many times in the history. From independence to occupation, from kings to guerrilla fighters, Afghanistan has always been. In the next chapter, we enter the darkest years yet, the civil war, the rise of Taliban, and the birth of a new conflict that would shape the 21st century. And 9/11 will happen.